Hello children, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine. So today's class is about a poem. Today we are going to learn a new poem. In the last classes we had learned two chapters about the childhood memories of two famous writers. And in this chapter we are going to learn a poem. The title of the poem is My Kingdom. My Kingdom. In this chapter also the writer is explaining his childhood memory. Okay, let's enter to the poem. So the poem My Kingdom is written by R.L. Stevenson. R.L. Stevenson. He is a famous Scottish writer, a novelist and a poet also. So he is from Scotland. In this poem, the poet explaining a childhood memory of him. He is explaining the poem his childhood memory. When he was a small child, one day he went into outside and he saw many beautiful views around him, and in that situation he is imagining he is a king of that land and that his surrounding is the kingdom of him. His surrounding is his kingdom. Really, children often live in a world of make-believe. How does the real world appear to a little boy? This is the topic of this poem. In this poem, the poet explaining how does the real world appear to a little boy. Did you live in an imaginary world? Did you live in an imaginary world? Yes, all of us are living in the real world, and sometimes we are living imaginary world. We are imagining we are the kings of this country and we are ruling the country like that. Do you know the meaning of kingdom? What is the meaning of kingdom? Yes, kingdom means the country ruled by a king. That is the meaning of kingdom. So in the poem My Kingdom, R.L. Stevenson making an imaginary world, and he imagined that he is the king of that kingdom, and there he saw a small pool and he imagines that it is a sea, and he could see some more other views. He could see a small valley, and according to him low wild plants are the big plants, and according to him the little hills means little hills by the mud, little hills were big to him, big hills, big mountains, and in his kingdom he is the king and everything around is under his control. And he could see a small pool and small wild plants and little hills, and everything around him is in his imaginary world. According to him, in his imaginary world, everything around his kingdom, and he is ruling everything. And he is living in that imaginary world. But at the evening, his mother called him for tea. Then he realized this is not a kingdom. He is living in just only an imaginary world. That is the theme of this poem. So all need to read this poem 2 times. And now let's hear the audio of this poem. Are you ready to hear this audio of this poem? Yes. After hearing the audio of this poem, you want to read the poem 2 times and to mark poetic devices that used in this poem. Do you know about poetic devices? Yes, poetic devices means the special features that used in a poem. For example, rhyming words. There are many rhyming words used in this poem. Do you know what is rhyming words? Rhyming words means repetition of similar sound in ending part of the last word of each lines. There are some examples. I will tell you some examples for rhyming words from this poem. You can see some examples from first stanza. For example, well, del, head, red, about, out. These are the examples for rhyming words. So I think all of you could understand this poem. Then let's discuss the words meaning of this poem. Are you ready to hear the words meaning? Yes, very good. Then I will tell you the words meaning for you. You want to write it down to your notebook. First word, well. Well means a small pool. That is the meaning of well. In this poem here, well means a small pool. Second word, del. In the second line, del means a small valley which trees go growing in or around it. That is the meaning of del. Third word, heather. Heather means a long wild plant with small purple, pink or white flowers. Next word, gorse, which means a bush with thin leaves with the sharp points and small yellow flowers. Next word, summer bloom. Here the summer bloom means with flowers fully open. Next word, cavern. Cavern means a cave, especially a large one. Seventh word, minnow. Minnow means a very small freshwater fish. Next word, evenfall. Evenfall means evening. Next one, dimpled water well, which means a small hollow with water. Next word, nurse. Nurse means it's a familiar word for you, a woman whose job was to take care of the little boy in his own house. And the last word, great. Great word means very large. I think these are the difficult words for you. So all of you should note these difficult words and you want to write its meaning to your notebook. Okay, let's wind up today's class. I think all of you could understand today's class. It is very simple poem by Stevenson, a Scottish novelist and poet. And in this poem, he is explaining a childhood memory. When he was a small child, he lived in an imaginary world of his own. That is the theme of this poem. So let's wind up the class. Thank you to all. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.